Good afternoon, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people. I hope you guys are all doing well today, and I want to go through a couple things here and kind of search together as I'm noticing a couple things, and I just want to share what I see with you guys. Maybe a lot of you will have more understanding about all of this than I will, and so what I want to do here is share with you about Comet Erasmus from the day it was found on September 17th, 2020. This was the day Comet Erasmus was found. And I want to follow it through its course because I see it related as it's close here to Venus. It's going to be on the same path as Venus. It's going to stay within the line and area of Venus throughout this whole process. So even now, from the time it was discovered, the first thing we realize about Comet Erasmus is that it was discovered on the Feast of Trumpets, September 17th, declared to be a comet, proved to be, and all of the tests they needed to run to make sure that this was indeed a comet. They ran between September 17th and September 20th, and then it was declared a comet on the Feast of Trumpets. Then we saw how it was connected to its perihelion event at the total solar eclipse on midweek Hanukkah, December 13th and 14th. It was closest to the sun. Okay. So what I want to do here is I want to walk through, and we can just watch together the movement in the heavens from September 17th, the day Comet Erasmus. When Comet Erasmus was found on September 17th, it was in Canis Minor. Venus was in Cancer, and we're going to be moving this way. So let's move the clock forward and see what we can find, okay? I could jump ahead 1 month at a time, but we're going to miss the connections, and we're going to miss the subtle movements, okay? Okay, we see Comet Erasmus is following the ecliptic line of the other planets and of Venus. Now we're coming up to the end of Virgo, and Comet Erasmus is approaching Venus more now as we're getting into the constellation of Virgo, and it's going to be coming now, meeting up with Venus, Mercury, Comet Erasmus, and the Sun in as we're moving into Libra here. Okay, this is the 26th of November now, and now we see Comet Erasmus kind of overtaking Venus. Venus is staying back, and Comet Erasmus is moving forward. Okay, now this is the first day of Hanukkah, December 10th, and we see Comet Erasmus is now approaching Mercury and the Sun, and we're going to meet up here midweek Hanukkah and now if we move forward, let's see, let's move forward I guess it depends on the hours of the day. If we go back, I guess we'd have to go back. Okay, see right here on the 14th how the moon just went through the total solar eclipse. Okay, the moon is right here at this time during the total solar eclipse, and total solar eclipse we have Mercury and we have Comet Erasmus right here. Obviously, if we move out, that's going to get closer. Okay, they look farther away the closer we come in to them, but they're still all in the same general vicinity right here. Okay. So, what are we seeing right now on the day of the total solar eclipse? Okay, day of the total solar eclipse, we have Jupiter and Saturn almost in conjunction. There's a week to go on their total conjunction on the 21st. But we have Jupiter and Saturn here. We've got the Sun and the Moon here. We've got Mercury here. We've got Comet Erasmus here. And we've got Venus in Libra. Okay. Now let's go out a little bit more to about right here. And we're going to continue following this past the Great Conjunction. And we're going to follow it through to Passover and see what is going to happen with Comet Erasmus, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun coming up to Passover. Okay, so let's keep going here. There's a 15th. Okay, now this is the day of the Great Conjunction, but we see that Comet Erasmus has just made a shift and is heading back this way now. Okay, it's heading back this way. It's going to head right through the area of Jupiter and Saturn. And Venus is following. See Venus following behind here? Venus is following behind. Okay. Okay, just to give us some perspective here. This is the day of the inauguration, January 20th. Okay, look at all of this right here. This is the day of the inauguration of the new president, Joe Biden, who's going to be sworn in, and who knows what is going to happen. There's so many things that are in question as to where we are and to what is really going to happen and who's really going to be in power. And, we just seeing so many strange things in our world today. Well, anyway, this is January 20th, and right here in Capricorn, look at all of this on January 20th. Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, the Sun. We've got Comet Erasmus, which is my focal point on this whole search up here. We see Comet Erasmus. This is the focal point of my search. And this is the center. Comet Erasmus is bringing us to all of this. Okay. And we've got Venus here at the arrow of Sagittarius, ready to be shot out. Okay. All right. So this is the day of the inauguration, January 20th, 2021. Look at this story that is being played out in the stars. The goat. The messenger planet, Mercury. Jupiter, the man-child. Saturn, the dragon. The Sun. Comet Erasmus and Venus. All of this playing out in the heavens. 21. Let's go forward now. Okay. Okay. Now, this is February 4th. And look at how everything is still lining up. This whole story is being centered. Since the lineup of the total solar eclipse on Hanukkah, okay, the total solar eclipse on Hanukkah, Venus was in Libra. We had Jupiter and Saturn in Capricorn. Mercury was with the Sun in Ophiuchus. Comet Erasmus was down here with the Sun in Ophiuchus. But now, all of this is moving, and it's all lined up right here in Capricorn, the goat. This is the story of what is being revealed right now, the goat. It's the story of the coming antichrist. Right here, guys. All of this in Capricorn. Mercury, the Sun, Jupiter, Saturn. Now Venus has moved into Capricorn, and we still have Comet Erasmus right here. Okay, so let's move forward. From here, we see that Venus, if you watch Venus and Comet Erasmus together, they're moving together. Okay. And now we're going to be moving into on March 13th and 14th is Nisan 1. Okay, this is New Year in Israel. Nisan 1 right here. Here is New Year. We've got Comet Erasmus still here hanging out as a witness. Mercury is joining up as a witness. It's following them. Jupiter and Saturn are being held back. Mercury and Venus have moved forward. Jupiter and Saturn are being held back. And Comet Erasmus stays right in this whole story as a witness. Okay. Now we're going to move forward. And on the 23rd of March is the triumphal entry. And we've got Venus and the Sun. After this whole story, we've got Venus and the Sun heading up, lining up, catching up to each other, and it's making its closest pass to the Sun exactly between the triumphal entry date on March 23rd and Passover on March 27th. Okay, then after Passover, Venus is going to go past the Sun, okay? And as far as I understand, that cycle is not going to repeat for another 584 days. Okay? The cycle of Venus is 584 days. And so this is the end of a 584-day cycle exactly on the days of triumphal entry to Passover. Okay? This is very important connection that this once in every 584 days that this happens, and it happens exactly on the day of the triumphal entry. Now, on the day of Passover, okay, let's go out again a little bit. Let's look at Passover or the day of the triumphal entry. Let's see if that makes any difference. We can look at both. The day of the triumphal entry, what do we have in the story here? Okay. We have the bright morning star. At the end of its cycle as the morning star, it's going to be transferring to an evening star at the end of this cycle. We've got the Sun and Venus. We've got Cetus here, which is the dragon or the beast from the sea. And this is very interesting also. Brother at Chadish Culture shared this in one of my comments on the video, that Cetus is the beast from the sea, and it's almost as though Venus and the Sun are holding back by the tail of the beast. They're holding him back. Okay? And this is all happening right here in Pisces. Okay? And the fish, and the storyline of the Christians being the fish, and the 153 fish. Okay? And we are called to be fishers of men. All right? And so this is interesting. We've got the Comet Erasmus, which means beloved. Erasmus means beloved. It's here as a witness. We've got Mercury following along. Mercury is the messenger planet. We've got Jupiter now coming out of Capricorn. And the only one left, after this whole story, the only one left in Capricorn is Saturn. Jupiter is coming out of Capricorn now. Saturn is the only one that remains in Capricorn after this whole time, okay? And this is the central figure of the antichrist goat system. Saturn is the one that wanted to devour the child, Jupiter, okay? Well, anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you guys, okay? We've got this whole story playing out. And for right now, I'm not going to go past Passover with this. We've got amazing pieces of information between this day, between the triumphal entry and Passover, and then if we go back 2 months and see the day of the inauguration, these 2 days on in this whole system of signs, this whole series of signs are quite amazing, okay? So here we have January 20th, the Inauguration Day sign, and we have the Triumphal Entry Day sign, okay? All right, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I pray you guys are blessed and have a wonderful day. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.